Hey guys, SickMotion here with the patch 5.17 review. Remembered to turn on my recording this time, so I'm not gonna do the entire patch note review and realize it was on preview. Unfortunately, the one time I did that, it was on the longest patch I've ever done. Oh well. So right off the bat here, Skarner. He's gotten pretty hurt here. He got hotfix nerfed where he lost some stats, and most noticeably that I remember, 10 movement speed base during the course of 5.16. Now his Crystal Spires, less bonus movement speed at earlies, higher at higher levels, less attack speed early, higher at higher levels, but lower mana regen per second as well. Move the position of Jungle Spires on Twisted Tree Line so that their zones no longer overlap. I haven't even seen him on Twisted Tree Line, so that means nothing to me. So more Skarner nerfs back to back. Enemies no longer take additional damage from being hit by soldiers beyond the first. I watched the patch note review, and so the best description of this really would be what Zyrene said was, it's like Lulu's glitter lance. Even if you hit the same target more than once, it's only going to apply the damage once. So that's something I didn't even realize was a thing. And his base movement speed is 10 down from 335 to 325. That is like the lowest ever. It's a pretty low movement speed, but I mean, 335 doesn't help you later on in the game anyway, because there's a lot of fast champions that just run at you if you're not able to position properly. So that will hurt, but more experienced players I don't think will feel it that much. Bard W cost down, and his magical journey cooldown has been lowered by, it looks like, 2 seconds per level. So just some nice little quick tidy up buffs for him. Darius, I've actually been playing him a little bit more, running attack speed, just a little bit of attack speed on him to make him feel less clunky and stack your passive more, and I've been really enjoying it. I ran a ghost on him before this patch, but now they made it so you can use summoner spells while winding up the Q, because they were disabled before, but I guess that was a bug. So now you can charge up your Q and flash to get it into range. As long as you make sure you get it in the blade, so you know where to flash to, you actually are familiar with the range. They renamed his passive, which doesn't matter at all, and a pretty cool thing, Crippling Strike refunds 100% of the mana cost and 50% of its cooldown upon killing a target, whether that's a champion or you're just using it to last hit and auto attack reset. It'll let you auto attack and CS under tower a little easier if for whatever reason you were having a problem with that before. I have a feeling he'll be seeing some nerfs next patch, to be honest. Some cool stuff with League of Draven. Draven here, kind of thematic. Everything's about him. So he lets your team know when he gets 100 stacks every 100 after 150. Notifies his team when he cashes in on at least 150. So big morale boost there. Like, oh yeah, our AD carry's getting huge. And cool little fun mini game. He gains 2 bonus stacks of his passive if he kills 6 minions in a row without dropping an axe, which is pretty fun. Fizz. All of these changes here pretty much really targeted at nerfing AD Fizz. So the on-hit active damage on Seastone Trident has gone down to leveling up by 5 per level instead of 10. So now it's at max 30 instead of 50. That's 20 less damage per auto on the skill that you leveled up first as AD Fizz. So that's really painful. The AP ratio, however, is up. So that's an AP buff. The AP ratio on Q is up. So that's an AP buff. The R no longer amplifies physical damage, only the AP. So not an AP buff, but a direct nerf to physical. So it's kind of being like you have to play Fizz as AP unless you want to have no fun. So, really good way for Riot to say, yeah, we don't want to enforce a meta, but don't play AD Fizz and play Mordekaiser bot. So the delay between cast on Gangplank's barrels have been increased by a quarter second, very unnoticeable. Honestly, that's going to be kind of quality of life-ish for Gangplank in a lot of situations. A lot of times when I'm trying to stack a bunch of barrels in a row, sometimes I'll hit E more excitedly more than once by accident, and I put 2 barrels on top of each other, which is completely useless in most situations. Some situations you can put 2 barrels on top of each other, which you won't be able to do as quickly anymore, so that if they try to stop one from, like they try to auto attack one, you can just shoot the other one. So a little bit of a mind game that you could play. It's going to be harder to do now. The armor penetration went down 10%. I thought it was supposed to go down 15, and I still think if it was 15, it still would be too strong. If it went down 20%, these barrels would still be strong. So Gangplank still, in my opinion, is very, very strong. 50% armor penetration on his barrels. Still ridiculous. Garen, base movement speed nerfed, base bonus movement speed on his Q nerfed. W stacks twice as fast on other maps, so not Summoner's Rift. Right-clicking on target while spinning will now put you closer in range, quality of life thing for newer players. And the tooltip has been reformed to show the percentage damage it will do if they're missing healths, rather than based on doing math, because math's hard. So direct movement speed nerfs to make him feel more juggernauty, so he doesn't just have to turn into Sanic and run at your dude really easy. Gragas's Drunken Rage has been reduced to max health damage 8 at all ranks. This is more aimed at competitive play. You don't see Jungle Gragas too much in ranked that often anymore, at least I haven't been. But that's going to be the difference between 4% max health per auto that you do with Drunken Rage. So you end up getting 3 Drunken Rages off on the same target. That's 12% max health, less damage. That's quite a lot. Two autos that you miss on the same, or you hit on the same target. Is going to do 16% instead of 24% now. So you're going to have to get 3 Drunken Rages on the same target to do the same amount of damage as 2 would have done before. So big nerfs to him. Janna fixed the bug where Tailwind was not immediately falling off of allies, moving away from Janna. Minimum range on Howling Gale is 850. Bonus range while charging, 35% increase per second. So it looks like it'll probably go up to around the same. I'm not going to do the math here, but it starts off as lower, so you're not just able to double tap it and have it go super far for not charging at all. Monsoon's ability power ratio has been nerfed by 0.3. That only affects some type of Jannas. Lots of Jannas wouldn't build that much AP anyway. I guess a lot of Jannas will be building the Zeeks now, so they're getting AP anyway from that, so you got to kind of tone that down if that's their most efficient build path anyway. Direct buff to Jax Counter-Strike now costs 20 less mana at level 1. I know some Jax is level E. I usually level E last, so that's 50 mana Counter-Strike rather than 70. So that's a huge buff. It goes up to 90 by the end, because it goes up by 10 per level instead of 5. But 20 mana off at level 1. And then I think it evens out at level 5. Even at level 4, it's cheaper now. So direct buffs to Jax, very minor quality of life buffs in my opinion, but sometimes that can make the difference between getting it off your Counter-Strike or dying. So notice that. Big nerfs to Callista. Passive cooldown on the percentage health damage is now 10 seconds from 6. That's almost doubled, and it starts at 10% rather than 12, so a little bit off and goes up to 20, still the same. Her cooldown on her ultimate is now 30 higher and 15 higher, same at level 3, so little bit less early game power on Callista. She's still super annoying just because of her passive though. No one really plays Karma, but her W cooldown is 12 at all ranks rather than 12 only at level 5, so that's a big buff to her. That's the one that can heal her if you mantra it. It's her CC, so big buff to her if anyone feels like playing Karma. Lux, the cost on her light binding is now 20 less at max level, and it now deals 100% of its damage en route to the secondary target as well. So buffs to Lux there. Poke mages haven't been in that much. Lux still can do really well in a lot of comps where she can just sit back and hide. So that's a big buff to her for anyone who plays Lux. Gigantic nerf to Maokai. Cooldown on his ultimate is up 20 seconds at all levels. That's 40 seconds at level 16. Level 3 of his ult from 20. So that 40 seconds will go down by 40% with CDR. Before it was 12 seconds if you had max CDR on Maokai. Now it's going to be 24 at max level, and early levels that's like really big. So big nerf to him. They nerfed the ability to keep the Catalyst and still get the Catalyst passive when taking into Righteous Glory, like when you upgrade to it last patch. So that's kind of 2 Maokai nerfs in a row. That's kind of aimed at competitive play as well. Fixed a bug where Double Strike and Devour's Phantom Hit would reduce Alpha Strike's cooldown. Okay. Nocturne 500 increased range at all levels on his ult. So his ult didn't feel that, like that extra 500 range will help you get in from some different more sneaky locations. Maybe he'll get a little bit more play. Big base attack speed buff to Pantheon. They nerfed it when Warrior was like super duper strong a while ago, about this far into season 4. Close to that, and now they're putting it back up. I play Pantheon top lane sometimes, so that'll be a direct buff to him for all-inning and farming and whatnot. No longer grants 15 bonus fury on Rek'Sai's first strike within 5 seconds of burrowing, so little bit of quality of life and direct nerf to Rek'Sai for that bonus fury. It'll be harder to charge it up and get his E off quick. Nerf to Shen here. Q heals less. The base heal per second is lower. You can see the numbers there. At level 1, it's actually cut in half. So nerf to Shen, nerf to Maokai. Top lane might see some more interesting stuff. Passive on Tahm Kench. The duration is from 5 to 7 seconds. Now matches the duration of stacks applied from Tongue Lash. I didn't even realize that Tongue Lash's stacks lasted longer, but interesting. Enemy champion regurgitation range is 200 rather than 100. So that's kind of helpful because if you spit an enemy out and then Q directly in the direction that they're spit out, sometimes you still would miss that Q. He has a little bit of the stun when he spits them out, but sometimes you would still miss that Q just due to latency or whatever because they would start running through your character and then that Q hitbox would not apply to the character's hitbox. So that'll make it easier to hit a Q right away, and it'll make it easier if you eat a champion, turn around and spit them out, they'll have more ground to cover. Approximately 1 Teemo's worth of ground. The passive cooldown is lowered at early ranks. So rather than scaling at level 7, it'll scale all the way down to level 7. Like 1 second per level type thing. So it helps per level rather than at breakpoints like it was before. Azir, I guess you can use your soldiers with Sated Devour. My condolences to anyone who gets Azir jungle in their games because of this. And fixed a bug where units would be to knock too far with R. It seems like this is a trend. Ever since Azir's been out, there's been a bug fix every single patch for him. Sometimes nerfs, but mainly bug fixes. A bunch of other bug fixes with Zed as well. You can check those out. Spectator HUD has a new reskin kind of theme to match the new in-game HUD. I have a spectator overlay that I haven't used in a very long time because I haven't done any spectating stuff. I'm going to be sad if that doesn't work anymore because I already had to get a new overlay for my normal game screen, so I'll have to check that out. The question mark on the scoreboard MIA no longer covers respawn timers. That was one of my biggest pet peeves with the last patch, so I'm really happy that they fixed that. Champion's passive icons now properly gray out when on cooldown, so just quality of life visual bugs that are really nice. Ability cost can now be displayed in the upper right hand corner of ability icons via show spell cost in the interface, so that'll be really cool if you're playing a champion you're not overly familiar with. You don't have to mouse over the skill to see how much mana it costs, or even a champion you might be familiar with. You're not like, oh, I don't know how much this champion's E costs at level 4, so that'll be on quick view for you, so I think that's really nice. Anyway, let's scroll down through here. A bunch more bug fixes. We mentioned a while back to make a change to landing page articles to allow you to read news articles in client instead of being linked into your web browser. Okay. Bunch of bug fixes here that you can read through as well. I'm not going to go through every single one of them. And the project skins will all be coming out. Some of these are actually pretty cool. One of the cool things, I was on the PBE today when the patch was being deployed, as I usually am when the server's down. Depending on the number of project skins you have on your team, you get special minions. I didn't see the effects of one, but 2 minions, or 2 project skins in the game. Doesn't matter which team. Would make the melee minions and the caster minions turn into like Project Robot-ish looking minions. With 3 in the game, it would make your tank minion do it as well. So that's kind of a cool feature. I haven't seen if there's anything else if you have more project skins. So I'm sure there will be more information on that elsewhere once that comes out, or you guys will test it out. But anyways, that's it for the patch. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope it helped. A lot shorter than last time, about 3 times as short, so a lot nicer, not a lot easier on my voice. If you were enjoying it, the review, make sure to hit the like button for me. Let me know that you liked it so I can keep putting these out. If you're new to the YouTube channel, hit the sub button. There is, well, if you enjoyed it, obviously don't feel like you need to if you didn't and this sucked. My social media links and stream length are in the description below if you want to check those out as well. And other than that, take it easy, have a great day, and once again, thanks for watching.